Starting to the bottom right in red, we have our first talent play in this third game of the day. It is
NS HoSeo Salvation.
Salvation, he is, well, can he be the Salvation? That's what we'll find out. He's up against the Streaker, the dual winning Terran. He is
StarTale, Sound.
Sound with a great performance so far today. It looked grim when he was up against Sanai, but he pulled through. That one gold base that Sanai scouted very late in the game definitely helped him quite a bit.
That was an incredible game, by the way. I mean, it just goes to show how little things like the Swarm Host, the ability to boost it's quite awesome.
It was a big problem for Sound to deal with those. That was definitely an issue for him. He tried to run in and take down these units, but Sanai was always there with the Zerglings in the back and made sure that if Sound approaches, that he can defend them.
Well, we have a variation in the builds already.
Yeah.
No gas so far for the NS HoSeo Terran Salvation, and a gas being taken already from Sound, so a very standard gas from him, and oh, there's a little bit of a late one. He blocks with the depots, he wants to deny scouting. We've seen this already in our Terran versus Protoss earlier today.
Yep. So at this point we have the scouts sent out only for the Terran player in red, for Salvation for NS HoSeo. He gets into the main base and can now see, of course, the timing for the refinery, how much gas has been mined here.
Yeah, the thing is, if you want to deny a gas scout with the normal gas timing, you have to delay your orbital, and he didn't want to do that. He was just banking on his opponent not scouting early. He wants to see if this is a Reaper or not, and he doesn't. He now knows it's not a Reaper. That's actually a really smart scout to go and poke and see if that's a Reaper.
Yeah, you want to know if that's going on or what exactly your opponent starts with. And there are so many different openings that you can use for Terran these days. I just mentioned earlier that Holt, for example, is one of those guys who really loves to start with the Reaper. And on certain maps, if the opposing Terran player starts with the command center first, you can actually just get a second barracks and then build Reapers 2 at a time and pressure him, because he will be very late with the defense against it. You can really punish greedy builds now a lot better than you could in Wings of Liberty. But it's also, of course, taking a bit of a risk, so you have to be quite confident in your abilities to pull that off with a micro.
Yeah, it's really quite a challenge to defend against early Reaper builds with the command center first, for example. It takes incredible micro and a lot of practice. You're not going to do that in the Platinum League against one of these players. Comes up here to see if there's a factory nearby, but smartly, Sound has hidden his buildings further back. This is really smart. He lifts, makes the add-ons up inside, so now his opponent has no idea whether it's mech coming out, whether he's got a starport going up. He has no idea.
We have an armory already coming up.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Looks like we'll probably see mech, but will we see a Hellbat drop?
That's something that we could only see. I mean, right now you need, if you want to pull this off, you need to research the upgrade. If you want to switch between Hellions and Hellbats, that's one of the requirements that we had. Hellbat drops were a little bit too strong in the Eye of Blizzard in the beta, so the Hellbats underwent a few changes. Yeah, this is interesting. We could also see 4 Widowmine drop, not really all that common in TVT. And of course, the armory will allow him to get a faster +1 attack upgrade for his mech, should he decide to go for that. Starts to look more and more likely with no marine production. This is really interesting build. Currently, Widowmines already being placed down everywhere on the map. We have 2 at the top left for Sound now, really trying to focus on this build with the Widowmines, and at the same time now, to the bottom right, there's the armory already. Yeah, to the bottom right, you could just see Sanai going, sorry, not Sanai, of course. Salvation, both starting with an S here, therefore leave for confusion, going for his own start, but completing it as we speak.
Okay, so now he has 2 Hellions. He could make 2 more Widowmines and do a 4 Widowmine, 2 Hellbat drop, or he could even go for 2 different medevacs with Hellbats in them, a double Hellbat drop.
And he goes for the double drop. He actually goes for this. This is going to get very dangerous.
Oh, the scan. Does he see the armory? Ooh, the Hellbats are about to pop.
Here comes the Widowmine, takes out the scout.
He doesn't see. He loses the scout, and he does not see the Hellbats with his SCV, with the scan.
Medivac Wolf is nearly ready.
Yeah, this is going to be, you know, it's an attack that's very hit or miss, but I think this may be a hit.
Here we go.
And he's moving across the map with some of his forces right now.
Here comes the sensor tower, and he sees the drops. Sorry, the Zelnaga watchtower, he sees them. He sees what's going on, he knows there's a double drop coming. The question is, of course, only where does it hit?
Yeah, and he needs to make sure he pulls his SCVs instantly. If you have a Hellion that's in Hellbat mode attacking SCVs, the SCVs die instantly. He's actually sending all 4 in here. Is he really just going to drop on this?
Oh, and he does! He drops the Hellbats, and he tries to take on as much as possible, but 2 of those are already gone. Not only one, he saved the other one.
The auto turret goes down. The auto turret is going to be enough. It's armored. 2 Marines coming in here as well. Kind of an interesting choice.
Very good defense so far.
Yeah, and he drops again. Excellent micro with the boosters. Here he goes in the SCV line. Sound with a really cool build here.
Yeah, so far doing a lot of damage. There's not a lot of anti.
Oh no,
he goes in! The SCVs have to go off the mineral line again, and he's chasing them down, but here comes the Viking, finally!
The Viking is crucial because now he can't lift up anymore. He has to actually commit. He boosts away.
Oh,
the SCV is going down here! Hellbat drops are still going strong!
Oh, they definitely are, and they're trying to chase down the rest of the SCVs. The SCV
Look at the supply
18 to 25!
57 to 29! What a cool strategy!
Really
my god, he can't even fight with a Viking! That Viking barely surviving here. Will he even be able to kill it?
He's trying to micro. He's really trying to pull this off, but we have 4 Hellbats walking across the map.
And he's got Vikings of his own.
And
this game looks over. What is he going to do?
Oh, there's too much going on in the natural right now. He's losing all the harvesters, the mules too.
The Vikings landed.
The main base.
All those SCVs are low on hit points, mind you, because of the Hellbat drop from earlier, so that Viking can kill every single one of them, and he does.
Salvation is trying to hold on here with 20 supply against 65, but those Hellbats get the shots off.
And now he comes to the main with more drop ships. A mule is dropped to the main. That's it. GG.
Oh my god, Sound is on a roll. He is going for the all-kill here. He has 3 victories on his belt already.
That was the type of build I was hoping to see from Salvation, but it came out from Sound. That was really cool.
Yeah. Double Hellbat drop, goes for it, rallies units across the map.
It's just such a very technical strategy. He's got all the parts in place. He hides the buildings in several different parts of his base. He's got the denying scout, the scout denier, the Widow Mines, really well hidden, and Salvation just getting knocked down there.
And Salvation, he scouted the dropships, he scouted the medivacs, he saw them with the Zalaga watchtower and tried to set up his defense, but it just was not enough. At first it really looked like he could pull it off. He tipped down one of the medivacs, he was able to kill one of the Hellbats, but the micro is too good and he killed so many SCVs.
Yeah, you know, you have to be able to do several things against this drop. You need to make sure that your units underneath the dropships, you have to know what's in the dropships first, which he didn't know. He could have thought it was Marines, so he stacks up all his Hellions. He's like, oh, I'm just going to crush. If you drop Marines out one at a time or you drop a Widow Mine out, it's going to get totally owned.
Exactly.
But if you have all your Hellions and Marines in a clump win for Hellbats drop out, it's a very different story. You want your army to be split against that, but he didn't know what was inside.
He lost way too many harvesters, and then he tried to start mining at his natural. That was the only advantage that he had the entire game. The second base and also, of course, the second mule. So even if he loses a few harvesters, he can still recover. But he lost so many that there was just no way, especially when those 4 Hellbats that he rallied across the map were hitting natural.
Yeah, I mean, the micro was actually excellent from Sound as well. Boosting at the appropriate times, dropping in and out, dodging the auto turret, sees the auto turret, okay, I got to get away from there. I'm going to go for the SCVs now. The auto turret obviously is armored. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but you want to stick away from that if you can. It can take out your medivacs.
And you can really see what he tried to do here. He decided to get 2 medivacs at first, and then he went straight into the double Viking production, because he knew as soon as I arrived at my opponent's base, his first reaction will be getting a Viking out to somehow deal with my medivacs. If I have a double Viking, I can take the anti-oven down, and then I can even use them in assault mode to lend extra strength to the ground attack.
That was about as technical as a build can get. I mean, the way he hit his buildings, the way he executed the attack, that's what happens when a plan comes together. I mean, that's what we just saw. It was extremely excellently done.
Hannibal would be proud. I can definitely say that.
You know, I think the Marines that were coming across the map were actually supposed to deny the watchtower. He just didn't get there in time, and that was like the one flaw in his plan, but still, he was able to make it work.
It worked so well, and now suddenly StarTale is up with a 3-0, and we didn't even see Bomber yet. We didn't see Life. We didn't see Curious. It is Sound, and he's strong. We talked about it earlier, but he is not one of those big names that StarTale have if you look at the entire lineup.
Yeah, this is a dire situation now for HoSeo. They need somebody who can all-kill the opposing team. I think the only person they can call on is Jakchi.
There's only one name in that lineup that can pull off an all-kill, or at least where you would think like he's the one. Maybe someone will step up at some point, but for today it has to be Jakchi. I mean, there's no other player.
If anyone else stands up, I will be shocked.
I'm completely honest, I would love to see sort of pulling off an all-kill right now and see him play, but with Jakchi's performance at MLG and his performance also, like when we saw him in Heart of the Swarm in the preseason, he looks so strong right now. At least get a few wins so that you look good in the standings, that you are not losing without taking a single map.
That puts you at -4 if you do that, and that's never where anybody wants to be. Now, if someone comes out, it's not about beating 4 players. It's about beating like 12 because you never know which one's going to come out. You know you're facing Sound, but that's all you know. Could be Life or Curious, or you could see Bomber come out. Ace could come out if he's not here today. But in general, you know, the level of play that you're seeing from that StarTale bench, in general, it's not about just beating 4 players. It's about beating all of them together.
I always try to convince Ace to play more again and to maybe come out in Team League, but every single time I ask him if he's actually going to appear, he's like, not today, not today.
Yeah.
So I don't think we will ever see him again. But
all right, so Jogsy is up, of course.
I mean, who else could?
There's nobody else. There is no man but Jogsy. He is the backbone, he is the captain, the commander, and he will sit in that booth. He's going to have to make a miracle happen today if NS HoSeo is to have any chance of taking a win.
And you know, I personally think that StarTale, they won't fool around if the Sound loses now. Because they know that it's not only about winning the match, it's also about getting those points. So they will not put just some B team out there. I would be surprised to see that. I expect StarTale to really try to go for it immediately, to go for the win. Before we have our next match, we have a 5-minute break. Then we'll be back with another Terran versus Terran. This time, it's going to be Jagji versus the Sound. Can Jagji prevail? Best Salvation fail.